So this panel is called Next Challenges. Where can we possibly begin? There are so many challenges, I think, as Bob has talked about. I just wanted to start it by those were our speakers. I don't know David Viviano. David, welcome. Bob, where are you? Bob Atkinson? Oh, you are? Nice seeing you. Well, I'll see you soon, Bob. I just wanted to set it up slightly, looking at, I was going to look at some data on the pace and extent of change, but I think I'll go through that very quickly. I'll send it out to anybody who wants it. But I really want to spend a couple of minutes on exactly what Bob was talking about, which is I don't think we scholars are looking at AI appropriately. It is not just a robotization of skills. It's deep. It's very different than that. I think economists are starting to look at that. So this is from a new book, study out from Brookings that came out in November of 2017 using the same on-net data that was talked about already, and which is this Department of Labor Occupational Information Network, job-specific information on education, training, experience, and skill-related work requirements. It goes back to 2002. It's only national, and it's periodic. But what Brookings does is add it with a lot of occupational data at the state and SMA to give you regional and specific city effects if the national patterns hold, which is a big if. But here, and they classify jobs as being either low, medium, or high in terms of the level of digital skills needed in the job. And you can see from 2002 to 2016, the light blue are low digital skill jobs, of which there were 69 million in 2002. That has fallen 31% in 14 years. That's a big shift. And the high skill jobs have gone from 6 million jobs in 2002 to 32 million 14 years later. That's a five-fold increase. In the middle, also you see a big change, 33% increase in the number of jobs at the medium skill level. The low skill have gone from 69 million down to 41 million. That's a 31% fall in jobs. So big shifts over 14 years. This is accelerating from when we did the book 3 years ago, some of those studies. This is faster than we thought. And these are the new jobs created from 2002 to 2016. You can see the greatest share of jobs are low-skilled jobs, which is intriguing. So low-skilled jobs are 41% of all jobs created. But you'll see from this in a moment that the skill level of low-skilled jobs is going up. Right? There is no such thing, I think, as a no-skill job anymore. This is the mean digital scores of occupational tiers by the 2002 scores. From 2002 to 2016, so the mean digital skill score of someone in a low digital score job increased from 14.1 to 35.9. That is, the skills level required at a low skill jobs went up 2.5-fold over 14 years. But if you look at the top, and maybe this is what Bob was talking about, showing what's happening in high school jobs, the skill level of the highest skilled jobs in the economy, digital skilled jobs in the economy, decreased. Because maybe there is substitution. What's routine? My father wanted me to be a doctor. What if I had unfortunately become a radiologist? Is that a good job to be in? What's the error rate of a radiologist? High. What's the error rate of a machine? Low. Will radiologists be looking at charts in the future? No. I think one of the issues when we look at AI is that we have, and maybe this is Kahneman, we all have the feeling that we're better than average, right? We all think that humans are really smart. Maybe we're not, right? Maybe it's just hubris that we have. For example, if you look at well, I'll get to that in a second. So these are selected occupations by the 2016 digital score. I've highlighted two in red: welders, cutters, solderers, and brazers. The digital skill needed for that occupation in 2002 was 3. That was really low level of digital skill. The skill level needed in 2016 is 23. In fact, there are a number of jobs, like a tool and die maker was a low-skill job in 2002. In 2016, it's a medium-skill job. It jumped categories. So, and this data is at a very refined job-by-job level classification. You can map how digital needs are changing for every job in the U.S. economy. And the average skill level is going up extremely quickly, I think much more quickly than academics or certainly policymakers think. But to me, what's really intriguing is the shift from Thomas Malthus of 1798, that the world is going to a miniaturization, and Ray Kurzweil, there's a misspell there, the singularity. Singularity, really, remember, that's mathematical singularity is when there's an explosion in the equation and it's unbounded, which to an economist means there's unbounded wealth. Machines are doing so much better every year. We don't have to work. It's manna from heaven, right? And that's the opposite of Malthus. As Kurzweil says, we're going to be able to meet the physical needs of all humans. We're going to expand their minds and exemplify these artistic qualities that we value. Well, economists have started thinking about that. Does a technological singularity really mean an economic singularity? What is the impact on economic growth? And that there are two recent papers, one Bill Norhaus 2015, the latest one by Philip Aghion, Benjamin Jones, and Charles Jones. And there will be a meeting in Toronto next week about AI from the National Bureau of Economic Research, economists and AI. So economists are starting to think about this, which they hadn't really, because they thought what Bob said economists think about, which is that AI is just robotization. But it's not. If you look at what Singularity University and Ray and Google are doing, look at psychology. Look at the way machines are learning psychology. And if you thought that psychology was the purview of humans, why so few of us have emotional intelligence? The hardest thing we say the hardest thing to teach our students in business schools are the soft skills. Right? We can teach them the Black-Scholes formula, but can we teach them really how to lead? Well, maybe AI is much more powerful. It's not just robotization. It's a really fundamental shift, and the machine may be better at psychology than we humans are. But none of this means that the world is going to explode in this way, because these recent papers are going back to what William Baumol at NYU, who should have won the Nobel Prize, but he was too prolific to win it, wrote about the cost disease. which can be summed up that agriculture is I don't even know the share of the U.S. GNP agriculture now is. Tiny. It used to be 200 years ago, probably 60, 70%. The fact that it's now tiny doesn't mean we're starving. It means the technological advances are so great, the price has fallen so much, it's a small share of GNP. The same with manufacturing. Major share of GNP are now services. So GNP are the things that we're not good at. It's what Baumol called the cost disease. So at the end of the day, what economists are thinking about is like haircuts. A robot could cut my hair. Doesn't take long, right? I still have to go to the barber shop. I can't have, right? A meal in a restaurant is still a meal in a restaurant. Opera is still opera unless it's virtual reality. So there are lots of things in the economy that are going to be the ones that are going to be more of GNP and still be the labor share of GNP, even though machines do everything else. That is, you can still have, you can even have, according to the paper by Aguillon et al., you have explosive economic growth and a capital share approaching 1 and still have labor employed. But that's where economists are going, and that's, I think, the next challenges. But we have 2 great speakers, so let me take no more time and present first David Viviano, who will introduce himself.